I'm officially starting a petition to ban the most annoying, fake, deep, spiritually empty phrases from the internet. We're talking about a complete crackdown on toxic positivity, performative wisdom, the epidemic of people saying absolutely nothing while pretending they've just dropped life-changing knowledge. It's time for the Platitude police, and I'm coming for your good vibes only. Look, we need to talk about the plague of meaningless phrases that have infected every corner of social media, corporate speak, and casual conversation. These aren't just annoying, they're actively harmful to human communication. When someone's going through actual problems and you hit them with "everything happens for a reason," you're not being wise. You're being lazy. When you respond to genuine tragedy with thoughts and prayers, you're performing caring instead of actually caring. These phrases are emotional junk food. They taste sweet in the moment, but provide zero nutritional value and leave everyone feeling worse afterward. The banned list begins. First up, it is what it is. Congratulations, you've just discovered that reality exists. This phrase is literally saying the thing that exists exists. It's the conversational equivalent of shrugging your shoulders and giving up. If we ban this phrase, people would be forced to either offer actual solutions or admit they don't care enough to think of any. Next, everything happens for a reason. Oh, really? Tell that to someone who just lost their job, their house, and their dog in the same week. This phrase is just a way of avoiding the uncomfortable reality that sometimes life is random and unfair. It's philosophical comfort food for people who can't handle chaos. Good vibes only. This is toxic positivity at its finest. It's basically saying, please don't bring your actual human emotions around me because they make me uncomfortable. Real relationships involve bad vibes sometimes. It's called being human. Now, corporate speak crimes. Let's circle back on this. Translation: I'm never going to think about this again, but I want to sound professional while avoiding commitment. This phrase has probably caused more unfinished projects than actual incompetence. Touch base. What base? What are we touching? This is what happens when people try to make small talk sound like a business strategy. Just say, let's talk like a normal human being. I'm living my best life. Are you, though? Because you just posted this caption on a photo of your Starbucks cup at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Your best life appears to involve overpriced coffee and seeking validation from strangers on the internet. Trust the process. What process? The process of you not having a plan? The process of hoping things work out? This phrase is what people say when they've given up on actually steering their life in any particular direction. Oh, if only achieving goals was as simple as thinking really hard about them while burning sage. This phrase has convinced an entire generation that visualization is equivalent to actually doing work. The universe has a plan. The universe is a collection of planets and gases, not your personal life coach. This phrase is just a way of outsourcing responsibility for your choices to cosmic forces that don't actually care about your career goals, sending positive energy. Really? What's the shipping address for positive energy? Is there tracking? Because I ordered some positive energy 3 months ago and it never arrived. Maybe try sending actual help instead. Next. This is important. If you have to announce that something is important, it's probably not that important. Important things tend to speak for themselves. This phrase is usually attached to the most mundane observations known to humanity. Do better. This is the laziest form of moral superiority ever invented. It's criticism without specificity, judgment without solutions. It's basically saying be different without explaining how or why. I see you. No, you don't. You see my Instagram post. You've never met me. We're not in some deep spiritual connection because you double-tapped my selfie. Stay woke. Staying awake is literally the minimum requirement for being alive. This phrase has somehow made consciousness sound like an achievement. Self-care Sunday. Self-care used to mean basic hygiene and not dying from overwork. Now it's been commodified into an excuse to buy expensive bath bombs and pretend that bubble baths solve systemic problems. Authentic self. As opposed to what? Your fake self. This phrase implies that most people are walking around being inauthentic versions of themselves, which is both presumptuous and weirdly insulting. Personal journey. Everything is a personal journey now. Getting coffee is a personal journey. Choosing Netflix shows is a personal journey. Sometimes you're just doing normal human activities, not embarking on epic spiritual quests. Toxic positivity. The irony here is that calling things toxic positivity has become its own form of toxic positivity. It's a phrase people use to sound psychologically sophisticated, while still avoiding actual emotional complexity. Toxic positivity. God's got this. This phrase basically means, I'm going to stop thinking about this problem and assume supernatural intervention will handle it. It's spiritual procrastination disguised as faith. Everything in God's timing. Also known as I've given up on taking any action toward my goals, but want to sound spiritual about it. Blessed and highly favored. Usually posted alongside photos of material possessions, as if divine favor can be measured in designer handbags and restaurant meals. Thoughts and prayers. The gold standard of performative caring. It's what you say when you want credit for compassion without actually doing anything helpful. Here's my proposal. Every time someone uses one of these phrases, they have to pay a $5 fine to a fund for people dealing with actual problems. Said everything happens for a reason to someone going through a divorce, that'll be $5 toward their legal fees. Posted good vibes only on social media? Congratulations, you just funded someone's therapy session. You circled back in a meeting instead of just scheduling a follow-up. You're now paying for someone's productivity coach. Could solve the national debt with the revenue from banning it is what it is alone. Look, I'm not saying we need to eliminate all optimism or positive thinking from human conversation. I'm saying we need to eliminate the lazy, fake, performative versions that have replaced actual communication. Instead of sending thoughts and prayers, try, I set up a GoFundMe. Instead of everything happens for a reason, try this sucks, and I'm here to help. Instead of good vibes only, try I can handle your real emotions like an adult human being. The world doesn't need more empty platitudes. It needs more honest conversation, real solutions, and people who care enough to say something meaningful instead of reaching for the spiritual equivalent of elevator music. So who's with me? Let's make vapid pseudo-wisdom socially unacceptable again. Your authentic self will thank you for it. And yes, I just used authentic self ironically. That'll be $5.